You're now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show. Run us through how you help people to establish what their brand actually is.
Yes, yeah. So I always talk about having your VPV. And what I mean by that, I label it as the brand power of 3 because it is super powerful. If you know what it is for your business, if you know what it is for your own personal brand, well, then everything else starts growing and flourishing nicely because you understand it. And when you understand it, you know how to talk better. You know what your story is. You know what your message is. You know how you're helping people and why you're helping people even more so. And a lot of people are out here, they're starting thinking, do you know what? I just need a logo. I need a website and that should be it. That's my brand done. And I've got a couple of flyers. Oh yeah, and a business card and I'm done. But no. So we need to backtrack. We need to dive a little bit deeper and understand what your values are, your vision, your purpose. Because with those 3 things, you get to understand what makes you tick, what puts that that smile on your face or that passion in your belly, right? What fires you up. And when you discover that for yourself, you get to discover how exactly you're helping people. Like for me, and I'm saying exactly is because when I discovered that I was actually a brand specialist, not just a graphic designer, and for all those who identify with graphic designers, amen to you, excellent stuff. However, understand that graphic designing is just a tool. It's not the thing, you know? And even like I'm saying as a brand specialist as well, branding is the next level of it. But I do believe that there is something above that as well. But I'm on the discovery to find out what that is, you know?
And that's because you've mastered your VPV. So
Yes.
values,
vision and purpose.
values, vision, and purpose.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and so
values,
that's
vision.
obviously been your journey and what you've been able to unravel. Question for you, Tam. Are we always right with what we think our brand is? So if I think I am a certain brand because of my colors, my logo, am I right?
Nope. Not always. Some people do get it right actually, and it's quite funny when they don't realize it. But there's and I think they've managed to home in on the little aspects that do make them tick, so they understand, okay, that actually sits right with my brand or my being, whatever it is, right? But no, not all the time is it right. People will pick certain colors, fonts, again, the whole look and feel of it because they think it's pretty. Or yeah, I like that works. Or they'll do a whole big color clash and think, yeah, people will get it, it's fine. It's like, no, what are you trying to do? Like confuse people? Give people headaches? Stop it, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes less is more. And what I mean by that is sometimes you really have to just strip it back. Go back to the basics. What is it for yourself? And I always say, when it comes to your values, pick 3 to 5, because as we know, that's the kind of sweet spot, right? 3, less than 3 is too little, more than 5 is too much, and it gets confusing, right? But when you've got your top 3 to 5, then you get to have a more clearer aspect as to who you are and why it is that you do what you do eventually, you know?
Yeah.
And then I would say this as well, get your values and go below that. And what I mean by that is, if your value is love, what is it about love? Is it receiving love or is it giving love? Because there's a big difference there.
Yeah, of course.
You know, if it's happiness, what is it about happiness? Is it doing the things that you actually want to be happy in, or is it about I don't know, is it just making sure somebody else is happy? You know, there's differences there. So that's why I always say, like, if you've got your values, go a little bit deeper, because when you get to understand those aspects, when you do go deeper, the fonts come out better. The colors come out better. The way you speak about your brand comes out a hell of a lot better. And again, that passion that you find when you do understand what your purpose is or your vision is, even more so, you start making those purposeful moves in the better direction, rather than just, you know, hitting and hoping, running around in circles, like, fingers crossed this will work and throw everything at the wall and da-da-da. No, start there.
Yeah.
I will say that to anybody, you know, because it's important. But yeah.
And how do we then take our values and our brand into something more? Because one of the things you've done with Queens, which is obviously the business that we both own and run,
Yeah.
is you've turned the brand that was Queens, because I came up with the name of Queens of Business. I remember having a call with you before us planning on bringing business partners in. And I said, right, Tan, I've got this idea. I don't even know if I like the name. Queens in Business, what do you think? And you were coming at all these logos, these plans, and I was planning on paying you to do the service, remember? And then when we started talking about it, I was like, no, Queens is way bigger than just me. But I had no clue it was going to become what it has now.
I don't think any of us knew.
A magazine, it's a book series, it's a merchandise range. Like, we go to events and people, I'm not even on stage, you're not on stage, we're in the room, in the audience, and people are walking around with your hoodies on, like hoodies you designed. We've got a movement, we've got a community, we've got programs. It's so much more than just the logo. So,
oh my gosh,
how did you do it?
Yeah, I think it's recognizing that vision. So again, it's understanding, where do we see this, right? Who do we want? How do we want it to be represented? We want people out there to not only be seeing queens. We want them to feel like a queen. Like on our merch website, it is about feeling like a queen, right? Or dressed like a queen, in fact. And there's a really cool photo of us being crazy as we always are. But at the same time, I think within any kind of a brand, you've got to think like that, because it's not only about what people see as face value, it's about what they're feeling as well. Because we're taking people on a whole branded journey. It's not just about the logo. And this is what I always stress. Your logo is not your brand. I'm saying this. Your logo is not your brand, nor is your website your brand. And, marketing is also not branding. There's a whole bunch of things. But anyway, that a lot of people can get confused with. But understanding that your logo is the intro to who you are as a brand, right? And I love describing it like this. So best way to think about it is your logo is the doorway. Imagine you've got a big house, right? Or a big building. Your logo is the doorway, and it's a super cool, colorful doorway that invites people in. People open that door and they start seeing all the trinkets, the sofas that's nice and snuggly, to suit you or your values or whatever it is, your pictures from your holidays. That's your brand. It's all the little intricate details. It's all the things that make you you. So when you understand that more, then you realize the logo's on the outside, right? It's not the whole thing.
Yeah.
The brand is what's in you. It's what's within your business and within your personal brand. So when people understand that more, they're going to start driving their businesses all the more better, and they're going to start talking about what it is they do, why it is they do it all the more better. And that's why I can do this now all the more better. Before it's like,
what's my message?
What's my message today, But you just have a bit more of a direct focus. And the reason why this is also important is because it's all about building connections and building relationships that actually last, not the like one-timer ones. You want ones that actually last. So when you know your VPV, you know who you're approaching, you know who you're talking to, you know the interviews that you want to have, you know the people that you want to get on board with your own business, right? You know the people that you actually want to work with in general or collaborate with. And by the way, folks, collaborations can be your competitions. Competition does not have to be bad things. And the more and more people have that growth mindset, the better.
Yeah. That's the thing I find really powerful about your brand, though, is because you talked about the doorway being the logo and the house and the home, what's in the home be the actual brand. And I love that analogy because with most people, we always say you only know someone really well when you're in their home. Like you feel it. You get a vibe from them. You feel it. And that's the thing I think which people don't quite understand is that investing in building your brand, whether that is through a branding specialist like yourself or by building your authority, that is building you to know people to know who you are before you have to actually open your mouth. They feel your energy, they see it, they get an idea of it. That's why with Queens, it's actually really easy for us to be ourselves because they already feel us, feel like that they know us before we actually open our mouth.
I think that's our superpower.
Yeah.
Because we are us. And a lot of the feedback that we've had is it is because you guys keep it real, because you guys talk about what you've done, what's not worked, but then equally what you also have done again, but what has worked. You're showing and proving. And I think that's what's helped us big time. Because we don't believe in sugarcoating crap. We don't believe in giving you the soft approach. It's like, no, you guys got this. If we can do it, you most definitely can do it, And I think it's, again, coming back to that whole idea of getting out your own way and understanding that when you do get to that level of comfort, I guess, and yes, comfort does take time. And you know, the whole aspect of being comfortable, uncomfortably being comfortable, you know, the way I'm trying to say it.
Comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's the one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's why we work together.
You start the sentence and I'll finish it.
Done. I think when you get to feel in that kind of a way and not just be hung up on the idea of, oh my gosh, will somebody listen to me? Or will somebody understand my story? Will somebody want to hear my story? You know, when you get out of your own way, you get to understand that, okay, cool, let's go for it. Let's do it.